คนดูแลของให้ดี
Oh my god.
หมดเลยเฮีย
What the hell?
เฮีย
Hello and welcome back to Actually Let's Talk About It with me, your host Lily, and today we're going to be reacting to Only Friends episode 4, y'all. Y'all, the mess that happened towards the entirety of episode 3, specifically with Tun and Top, that I can't get mad at Tun because he has been very honest about the way that he is and how much he puts his own needs and wants over everything else, regardless of anybody's feelings. So I can't get mad at a person who is honest about how they are, doing exactly what they say they do. Can't get mad at that. However, Top, I thought we liked Mew, Top. I thought you was in love with that man out here professing your love for him in front of bars, asking him out publicly. But I see you out here getting hot and heavy with Tun in the back of the seat of a car, slowing it down and making it bouncy. I'm just trying to understand where this man's loyalty really does lie, because you love Tun so, not love Tun, he loves Mew so much, but you out here just, in the back seat of the car with Tun. And we've been through Tun, he has said it himself. He gets around. He like what he like. And if he wants something, he gonna take it. That's Tun's whole MO. So I can't get mad at him for being honest about how he is. And on top of that, he kind of had Top first. Why he would introduce Top to Mew, I still do not understand that situation, but it is what it is. And it's a part of the plot. Somehow, some way, they're going to give us a connection into why he introduced Top to Mew in the first place. Then we had a situation of Nick wiretapping the car. Number one, that's a criminal offense in any country. So I'm like, Nick, you out here being real weird. Cause you out here doing criminal activity to catch a man that you are just friends with. He already told you, y'all just friends with benefits. You upgraded from fuck buddies to friends with benefits. In no way, shape, or form did he say y'all was boyfriend, y'all was engaged to be married, or y'all was husbands. That's never been addressed or discussed nor mentioned. He said maybe with time y'all could be something more, but not enough time has passed. Nick being all hurt about what he was hearing, I'm like, Nick, you knew this. And he told you, Tun said with his own mouth, if you can't handle it, maybe we should just end it here. And that was back in episode 2. So, honey, come on now, wake up, get it together. Because if your heart can't take this, it's time, like what Demi Lovato said, give your heart a break. There's just so much you can take, and the exit stage left. And then we have the situation with Mew, when he couldn't reach Top, calling Ray, and Ray leaving Sand to go with him. Y'all, I swear, as of right now, the only people that are looking like they're even showing a semblance of decency is Sand and Chium and her girlfriend April. That's it. And the bartender, of course, and her man. Not the bar owner and her man, that's the bartender. Okay? That is it. Everybody else is just, I don't know what to make heads or tails of them. But yeah, y'all, that was my little rant about the events of episode 3, and also kind of a recap, just in case you didn't watch episode 3. And if you haven't, go get into that. Then come back. Anyway, we're going to get into episode 4 right away, because I just want to see how Ray's actions and romantic feelings towards Mew have changed since he's been with Sand. Because it just seems like Sand is the better option for Ray. Why? Because Sand is just better with Ray. Like with Mew, the alcoholism is present, the depression is present, the loneliness is present, like just the erratic behavior. But when Ray's with Sand, he doesn't really have those habits. Even he's starting to drink less now that he's been with Sand. And starting to be able to focus on other things outside of substance abuse, aka drinking. And I'm just like, so it just shows you when you're with somebody who actually brings out the best in you versus when you're around people who bring out the worst. and I hate to say it, but it seems like Mew's presence, for whatever reason, with Ray brings out the worst in him. So, and some people might not like that I said it, but I said it, and that's just from an observational point. The fact that your entire friendship, it just seems like Ray is hyperfixated on you and you're aware of his hyperfixation. And the only person in the entire friend group that Ray has that's encouraged him to get mental help, to see a therapist or a shrink, is Sand. And he's known him the least amount of time. And y'all all know the trauma that he's been through with the fact that he found his mother dead. Okay, like that scene showed in episode 2. The fact that his father is not it. I don't know where that man is, if he's even alive. And his issues with alcoholism because of whatever's going on with his family. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just, you really got to be careful who you surround yourself with, because it just doesn't seem like this group is beneficial to Ray. Not in the state that he's in right now. After he gets help, he might find ways to, set boundaries and still hang out with these people. But as of right now, it just seems like they're doing more harm than good. The fact that Sand, who is an outsider to the friend group, is doing more to help him than his own friends tells us everything we need now. That's all I would say. But yeah, I'm gonna stop my rambling and my rants and get into this here. But before we go into, this episode of Only Friends, is the series, episode 4, we're going to give our big Patreon shout out to Jen Obiva. And I want to thank you so much for your support on the Patreon. It really does mean the world to me. And yeah, thank you so much. And also, y'all, as of right now, let's look at the subscriber list on YouTube. We are at 501 subscribers. Yes, so thank y'all so much for subscribing and supporting the channel. And if you are watching this video and have yet to subscribe, do not forget to do so if you would like to support the channel, and give this video a good thumbs up and leave a comment if you would like to as well. But yeah, y'all, without further ado, we are finally getting into episode 4 of Only Friends, and we're going to see what mess is going to be cooked up. That episode preview, y'all, we have to get into it. We have to get into it. Oh, don't say that, Ray. Don't do that. You're a pretty decent person. You just got, his own trauma going on. What? Oh, dang. Oh, this is not okay. Stop. I love her for saying that. Oh, not her calling you unseasoned. Dang. We would have to tussle after that. No offense. Respectfully, we will be tussling. Oh. Okay. So that is why he left Sand for Mew. It wasn't necessarily him choosing Mew over Sand, necessarily. It was just him repaying the favor. Okay. Understandable. Mew, are you just gonna let it happen? What? Don't kiss him back if you don't like him. Okay, then. Okay, but Chun looked like he was happy for them back then. So what the heck happened between, it's not making sense. What happened between him and Mew to where Chun would use it kind of against Mew, weaponize it against him in a way? I need to understand what the heck happened after that. All right, they need to get into that. Because it looks like Mew was proactively engaging in Ray's assumption that they had a mutual like of one another. But, Ray, I don't think it's a good idea for y'all to be in the same bed together. Somebody needs to sleep on the floor and or couch. All I will say is that denial is a river in Egypt, and it looked like Ray is swimming in it right now. Sand's not your type. Mr. begging him in the car to make an exception for you. Mr. weaponizing puppy dog eyes for him to make an exception for you. Mr. You can't put a price on what y'all did that one night because it was priceless. Mr. looking at Sand as he's walking away from your house. I need Ray to be for real. I need him to be so for real. Ray, don't do it. And don't think about doing it. It's not consensual. And you know, okay, good goddamn, why would he do that? Luckily, Mew was still up. Ray, you know better.
ไอ้มิวกูวันนี้กูยังรู้สึกอย่างนั้นถ้าอยากเป็นเพื่อนของกูอะอย่าทำแบบนี้
Ooh, that Arctic Monkeys quote, though, is so fitting for the show.
กูเล่นอะไรอยู่อะ
I'm sure you do. You having war flashbacks of last night. That's all I'm gonna say. It seems like Top likes to recycle old things that he did with other people with the people that he currently interested in.
มาเลยเนาะ
Dang.
โมเดลเครื่องบินลูกตะบีนี่คืออะไรหรอ อ๋อ สงสัยคงเป็นชื่อสายการบินมั้งเพื่อนเราให้มา
Oh, Top, you are so freaking irritating. So that beef most definitely is for Boston. So the reason why Boston knew who the person that Top dated for 3 months, it is looking more and more likely that the only person that Top has dated for the longest amount of time might have been Boston, aka Ton. And that might be why it's so hard for them to not be around each other, even now when he's supposed to be interested in Mew. Because why would you still have that, sir? If you honest to God don't care, why would you still keep it in plain sight where you would occasionally or almost always when you're going in and out of that particular place be looking at it? This is weird. Oh, this is a weird situation. For someone you don't like and are not interested in, you sure do like to always be bothering him. Right?
จะไปไหนอะนะ
Don't fall for it, Sand, but still agree. But you know, don't be falling for them eyes. And okay, you know what?
มึง
Dang,
หยุดทำหน้าอ้อนเป็นลูกหมาสักทีดิวะ
can make a very strong person crumble looking like that. That's all I'm gonna say.
แต่ที่มึงชอบด่ากูไหมไอ้ภาระสังคมด่ากูดิ
You really?
ด่าดิ
Oh, like
กูไม่ได้อยาก
I think that the way that Ray views himself is just really, really shitty. I'm just gonna say that right now. Like the way that Ray views himself, the words that he used to describe himself, especially that burden to society. What we did learn earlier in this episode about the fact that his mother, the way that she must have treated him and the things that she said to him, and his whole family dynamic was basically that most likely his mother got pregnant by his father. She didn't really love that man, and she didn't really want to have his kids. But you know, in certain types of traditionalist conservative societies, the woman is expected to marry the man that she is impregnated by. Abortion is not really an option, and she didn't really want to have him nor be a mother nor marry his father. So with that came an attitude that she had against him, and he feels like if he had never been born, she would never have died early, and all the other things that can come into play with that. And also the fact that he did say that he never got any motherly love or affection from her when Mew was holding him in the bathtub, and he said his mother had never even done that for him. And I'm just like, so there's a lot of reinforced trauma that Ray is carrying with him, and at this point it's like a dead weight that will sometimes be like pulling him under into that despair, that loneliness, that depression, which triggers his drinking habit. And I feel like this is going to be something that he'll definitely need to get help with, but he has to like choose at a point to not believe the craziness that his mother was saying about him, because it's not a child's fault for being born. You can't put the blame there as a parent. But also how it's just negatively impacted his own self-image to where he doesn't see any value in himself outside of like his money. Like that's why he keeps trying to impress Sand with the things that he thinks that the average person would be interested in, which is money, and I can do this and I can do that. And he thinks that it will try to like give himself like a one-up or better his self in Sand's eyes by being able to give him things that he might not have access to, because they are in different financial classes and technically social classes due to those financial classes. But like, to make a long story short, I'm really hoping that Ray improves his image of himself and that he gets the help that he needs to start deconstructing all of the craziness that his family has literally put into his head, because that's a lot of trauma. It's a lot. And the way that his eyes is shifting, like Cao Tong is such a phenomenal actor because he eaten this episode up. But the way that his eyes were shifting was as if to pleadingly with Sand not to agree to any of the things that he just called himself. Because he sees Sand, even if he doesn't realize it, Ray sees Sand as like this really good person. So if even Sand is saying that he's a bad person, I think that would break him more than if any of his friends in the friend group were to say it. Even Mew. And so the fact that he's trying to get him to call him that, and then like Sand is saying he doesn't want to yell at him, we're just going to see how this plays out, and the way and the look on Ray's face after he says what he says after he's heard him say this. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's cute. What the hell? Do they live in the same building? What do you want, sir? This is not what you... This should not be who you are. Not publicly. There's cameras in the elevator. Like, the security team can see this. The security team. Okay, see, that's what you should have did. In the shower. Oh. Oh. Sir, y'all in the same boat. Y'all both worthless together. That's all I'ma say. Do not think you better. Okay, that's the mistake Top is making right here. Y'all on the same level of wrong. Ton ain't more wrong than Top, and vice versa. Top ain't more wrong than Ton. Y'all both equally wrong. Why? Number one, because Top, you're supposed to be pursuing Mew, but you was out there in that car on that night. Ton, because Mew is your friend, you should have let Mew know when you introduced Top that y'all used to date. Because I'm pretty sure Mew would have never been interested in Top in the first place if you had established the fact that, oh yeah, me and Top have slept together before. Because if anybody in my friend group ever introduced me to an outside person to try to set me up with them, and they didn't disclose to me that they used to be intimate, like sexually with that person, dead ass, they would get their ass beat. Because that's information you do not withhold from somebody. Because that's your hand-me-downs. Why would you introduce your hand-me-downs to me? Like, it's like you don't respect me. It's like you want to fight. Because that's what I would think. Because ain't no way. You can't be dishonest like that. So that's where Ton is wrong. And then also, Ton is wrong because you don't even like Top. You're not in love with this man. You don't like him. You just want to have power, more power seemingly than Mew. For whatever reason. And hopefully we get into the beef between him and Mew. Because I feel like this whole issue with Top and Ton trying to get with Top all the time is directly correlated to Mew and something that was done or said that Ton didn't like. That's all I'm going to say. Wait, what? So Top is still with other people? Oh, good God. That is not surprising, but wow. Nick, what is the purpose? Why do you need Top's number? Why are you in his phone?
เพราะพ่อกูกำลังจะลงสสถ้ามีลูกนี้หลุดออกไปอ่ะเขาจะเสียหายกูแค่ไม่อยากมีปัญหา
Oh.
ไม่ใจกู
Oh.
กูโพสอ่ะพร้อมต้อนรับมึงอยู่แล้วแล้วทำตัวน่ารักแบบนี้ไว้แล้วกัน
Okay, but I've noticed that there is a stark difference between the way that Tun pursues and talks with Nick than the way that Tun talks with Top and anybody else that we've seen him hook up with. The way that he actually puts like care and concern into his conversations with Nick and tries to appease him and even be smiling for him. But the way that he behaves with Top is so very obviously that it's just about power dynamics. It is not about love. It is not about like. It is about lust and opportunity. And I'm like, and that is kind of really showing like the genius of the way that Neo is acting this character of Tun, because you can see it. It's very evident. The way that he doesn't have a guard up when in terms of Nick, which is why he's not suspecting that Nick is doing anything or onto anything that he's doing. But the way that he has one with Top, and it's really about outmatching, because I believe the way that Tun is viewing the situation between him and Top is like it's two alphas who are fighting for dominance. Basically, like when two lions be fighting to see who's like the ultimate leader who can actually lead the pride. That's what it's giving. It's giving that type of energy. They're just trying to one up the other. Because it's the way that Top had all this judgmental things to say about Tun in the elevator. Just to be getting a good night text from you with a little cute emoji. And you out here having the next man come over your house doing the same exact thing that Tun was doing for you in the car. Make it make sense. Nick, why? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? You do not need to keep listening to the audio. And please don't have any accompanying video either.
ชอบมันเหรอ
We do. 'Was not gonna be funny if Nick telling Top this is going to make him want to pursue Tun again. That's what's not gonna be funny. I'm gonna really hate that. If Nick finding Top's number, calling him out to meet him at his new place, and telling him, can you please stay away from Tun, is going to re-spark Top's interest in Tun. I'm gonna be so irritated if that's what happens, because Top is gonna take it as a challenge. Oh no, I know that somebody likes you, and I think I want to ruin it. Oh, I'll just
จริงๆก็เป็นเรื่องนี้อ่ะ
like he seems like that type of
ไม่ต้อง
person.
ก็ได้นะไม่ตั้งอะไรมันเป็นคนที่
And what are you? I'm gonna stop. Tun is at least honest about who he is. You are not Top. Oh, Nick.
แล้วมึงทำแบบนี้มึงคิดว่าจะหยุดมันได้อ่ะคิดว่ามันจะรักอ่ะ
Oh, Top is a villain. A villain. Like, why would you say that to him? What is the purpose?
คนดูแลของดี
Oh my god.
คนเลยเฮีย
What the hell?
เฮียเอ้ย
Wow. They got beef to where they just it's not a little thing.
เป็น
Actually.
ไรปะเนี่ย
This is crazy though. His whole one side of his face is just bruised. Sir, there's certain things you shouldn't admit to, and that's one of them. Please don't play it. Oh.
อะไรวะอยากให้โลกเขาเลย
Yo, man.
แต่เดี๋ยว
I love it. He just like rush past you like I will make you move. I love Ray for that. It has the audacity. This man, Top is something else. Like something is going on with Top. Because it's the fact that you have cheated not once with Ton, aka one of Mew's friends, but twice with the same man that approached you when you and Mew were having a little date at the silent dance party thing. But you're getting mad that he has Ray, who is his friend, in his house. A friend that he has kissed, but a friend. Top needs to be so freaking serious. Because he is incredibly unserious right now.
ไอ้เล่มัน
The what?
พวกโคกอะไรพวกนี้เหรอ
Oh. Why is Top doing hardcore drugs? Who just casually says like cocaine and stuff? Like the way that Mew didn't react, alarming. Okay, we'll circle back to that towards the end of this episode. But the fact that Top just drug use in Thailand, y'all do not understand. Y'all do not understand. You do not understand the gravity of this situation. It's not like drug use in the West. Okay? Well, you know, you get a little 10 years, you know, you get caught, you know, possibly max 20. Literally, before, like, these type of getting caught dealing drugs in Asian and African countries specifically can literally get you the death penalty. Singapore is one of them Asian countries where you get caught with doing anything that Top just admitted to doing, you are getting the death penalty. I'm like, what? And this is Thailand? The death penalty is still in practice. They just don't use a firing squad anymore, but the death penalty is still very much alive in Thailand. Like, the consequences of this man's actions, all the money in the world, sometimes will not stop, especially if they want to make an example of you. Top needs to be careful. Like, why are you doing... It would have been a little bit better if he was just being a hoe. No, a whore. It would have been better if he was just whoring around with Beam. But Beam is a whole drug dealer. And you are doing drugs. What? Ray? Uses drugs?
น้องคงไม่อยากให้แฟนเล่นยาเหมือนกันไปยอมนอนด้วยโอเคปะ
Now, Mew, I don't think you should agree to that. That just doesn't seem like a reward for you. Top is just, wow. I don't know how to feel about this character. It's just like everything you learn about him just makes him worse than before.
แค่ภายนอกนะ
I love Mew. This man, y'all, we gotta give it to him, cause Mew, oh, that was good. Oh, that was good. Oh, that was good. Okay, oh, that was good. Mew, you know what? Okay. When I said that he was probably worse than Top and Ton, because the way that this man know how to work people, the way he know how to work people, okay, he can't be messed with. Don't play with me. Don't play with him.
แล้วผมก็เคยคิดมาตลอดว่าผมอาจจะเป็นแบบนั้นสอนมันแต่ตอนนี้ผมอาจจะไม่สัมพันธ์กับมันขนาด
Not a Tribe Called Quest in the background. Okay, Thailand with this. Okay, they got taste. Whoever was out here curating the backgrounds in this here place knew what the heck they was doing. Because what they know about that. Okay. And on vinyl. The taste is immaculate. This is the way that they're looking at each other. It's the energy they're giving us right here. Okay, and the hands is moving closer to each other. I can't even. It's giving. It's giving exactly what it needs to give. But what is going to happen in this episode 5 preview? Because that's what we really need to see. Okay, this was Cow Tongue's episode, aka Ray's episode, this whole episode. But it's going to be interesting in episode 5. Now that we're seeing that Boston no longer wants to sleep around. And it seems like him and Nick is kind of getting a bit closer. However long that's going to last. And it seems like Top and Mew are kind of in a form of a love bubble, seemingly. And Sand and Ray are getting to know each other on a deeper level. And Ray out here wanting to spend all his time with him. But in the back of my mind, I'm wondering, is Ray still pining for Mew? And Sand is a substitute? And also, that's really pretty much it. So we're going to just see, I guess, in the next episode what's going to happen. But my thoughts on Top is that this man is into so many not good things, like the excessively sleeping around with the idea of you being quote unquote committed to Mew is a problem in and of itself. However, it's him also being involved in drugs and having a literal drug deal that comes to your home. And I'm like, the cops can come at any time. And if them, like I hear it's different over there in Thailand. If them cops gonna come at you for some charges, they gonna have some substantial proof to get you convicted of what they are charging you for. So I'm like, Top is really playing with fire. So I hope that he really has kicked his drug habit and is not lying to me and playing his face about it, because it could have actual legal life complications for him if he was to ever get caught or convicted of any type of drug use or drug trafficking. So he needs to think about that. And then we have Mew, who I find it so interesting how he said that because Ray allegedly uses drugs. I have not seen Ray use drugs. I've only seen him drink excessively. Like, he's an alcoholic, we know this. But I know he was abusing other substances too. But I guess that's an additional fact. Knowing that Mew knows that Ray uses drugs and alcohol, and still, he tries to get him to stop, but he doesn't really. So you allow him to mix his bad drug habit with his alcoholism. Como said, he say chemical imbalance in the brain. That's what Mew. I mean, I need you to be a good friend and get him to be checked into a rehabilitation place to where he can address some alcoholism issues and the substance abuse issues, and also his childhood / young adulthood issues of trauma from his family, both his mother and father. I need, because Mew seems to be the friend that knows the most about what Ray is going through in the group. And I just, I'm really trying to understand him. And also, it's just the way I feel like Mew is plotting something. I don't know what. Like I said before, I feel like he's worse than Ton and Top. Because the way he's just not fazed by the crazy shit that Top says, or the things that Ton is known for doing, or the things that Ray is into. And the only person that doesn't seem to be into anything really at all, that we don't even see that much of, is Shion. That's it. She's like unproblematic girly. She's living her best life with her woman. And I love that for her. But that's the only person. It's like everybody in this friend group has dirt that can easily be brought up against them in a legal way. And Mew conveniently has none that we know of. I don't know if Mew is like a cop undercover trying to get these rich people, but something is going on. I don't know if this is actually like a crime bust show with the backdrop of a BL, but something ain't right. It's giving very much Not Me vibes, and I think that Mew might be the secret cop. That's where I'm at. But yeah, that could be the ulterior motive here. He could just be getting close to all of these suspects in the friend group, and he's been undercover for a while. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking though. Okay, because we only see these individuals as friends for the last 2 years. We only have it going back 2 years. And they've been in college throughout that entire time. They're not childhood friends, allegedly, for as far as we know. So I'm like, interesting. So that's my theory about one way that Mew could actually be deceiving the entire friend group. That's my other theory. And then also with Ton, like I said before, it's just a power play with Tom. He wants to believe he has power. He wants to believe he has influence over this man. And that's really where it begins and ends. He does not like him. He does not love him. Because I heard, saw on Twitter that people are like, oh, he loves him. I'm like, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He just wants to seemingly be in power. He just wants to seemingly be the best choice for him, even if that means competing against his own friend. It's just something in him that wants to best Mew, and we still don't know the full story behind Ton and Mew because we have never seen at all yet, and it's not a coincidence, it is on purpose. There has not been a scene at all in this show, and we are 4 episodes in. We have 8 more to go, but so far there has never been a scene where you get a one-on-one between Ton and Mew. At all. At all. We have never seen these two alone together in a scene by themselves. Ever. If there's not other people around them, they don't look or speak to each other. Why is that? Okay, that's what I'm thinking. And then also Sand and Top having beef. I knew it was either because they used to be lovers, or Top stole his man, or they used to be best friends and Top stole his man. But it does turn out that Top did steal his ex, so we don't know if they used to be best friends or if they were just strangers and Top stole his man. But either way, that's what happened. So yeah, y'all, that's my ramblings and my theories of what might be happening in episode 5 and what actually might be going on with the characters as a whole. But yeah, y'all, if you have stayed until the end of this video, I want to thank you so much. If you're watching this on Patreon, y'all, I know this video is long, okay? It's almost an hour and 25 minutes. I do apologize. I was talking. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll get a shortened version of the Patreon version. And if you want to see the full version on Patreon, the link will be in the bio, but it will be behind a paywall. So I told y'all. There we go. But yeah, y'all, I will be back with the reaction to OnlyFriends episode 5 when it comes out next Saturday. But until then, y'all, I will see y'all in the next video. Yeah, I almost forgot my train of thought. But yes, I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.